2 weeks before the wedding, Ryan overheard his brother planning to propose at the reception, turning the night into his own show. The plan wasn't a joke. It was already set, already rehearsed, already meant to hijack the day Ryan had spent 5 years building. Ryan didn't confront him. He made one phone call and decided his brother would propose anyway. The florist was late. The caterer called twice. But that wasn't what got under Ryan's skin. It was Dylan, orbiting every group like a microphone with legs. He wasn't even in the wedding party, yet somehow he was directing the DJ, checking sound levels, rearranging chairs so he'd sit closer to the front. Always there, always visible. Ryan tried to stay calm. 5 years of saving, planning, keeping everything simple and honest. And now, 2 weeks out, his brother had turned the house into a rehearsal space for his own ego. At first, Ryan thought it was just Dylan being Dylan. But that afternoon, while tightening the bolts on a folding table, he heard the voice from the next room. Dylan's, on speakerphone, laughing. "Yeah, man, I'm gonna propose to Jen right there at the reception. Big moment. Everyone will remember both our nights forever." The wrench slipped from Ryan's hand and hit the floor. That metallic clatter felt louder than the laughter. He didn't move for a few seconds. The air just thickened. When he finally walked into the kitchen, Dylan was leaning on the counter, phone still in his hand, grin halfway formed. "You good, man?" he asked. Ryan nodded once. "Yeah." His voice was quiet, even. That night, while Maya was folding napkins at the kitchen table, Ryan told her what he'd heard. She didn't explode, just sighed, long, like she'd seen it coming. "Of course he would," she said. Then softer, "What are you gonna do?" Ryan didn't answer. He just kept watching the reflection of the kitchen light on his ring. Small, calm, perfect. The next morning, Dylan showed up again, smiling too wide. "Need help with the playlist?" he asked. Ryan said sure. But something had shifted. He was done reacting. Later, alone in the garage, he opened his phone and scrolled to an old contact, someone he hadn't spoken to in years. The hum of the fridge filled the silence as he pressed call. The line rang twice. Then, "Ryan Cooper? Wow, been a while." He exhaled slowly. "Hey Claire, I've got something weird to ask." He didn't raise his voice. He made a call. Claire's sounded exactly the same, half tired, half dramatic. Ryan could almost see her smirk through the phone when he explained what Dylan had planned. "So you want me to play his secret girlfriend?" she said. "Something like that." "That's twisted." "Maybe, but it's clean." There was a pause, and then her tone shifted. "You always were too polite to get angry." He smiled to himself. "Guess I'm learning." By the next day, Claire was in. She'd show up at the reception, quiet, dressed to stand out just enough. Her only line would be 6 words. "Wait, what? You said it was over." The rest would take care of itself. Maya listened while Ryan laid out the plan like a blueprint. She didn't interrupt, just kept folding programs into neat squares, the paper crackling in rhythm. "You sure you want to do this?" she asked finally. Ryan shrugged. "I'm not hurting him. I'm just letting him perform." Perform for who? He met her eyes. Everyone. For the first time, she smiled. "Okay then, let's make it good." That night, he laid out every detail. The seating chart, the order of speeches, the cue before Dylan's toast. It wasn't vengeance, it was choreography. Each move had to feel effortless, like it had always been meant that way. He saw it in his head, Dylan shining in the center, the room spinning toward him, and then a voice, sharp enough to cut through the noise. The truth would be fake, the humiliation, very real. Claire texted a photo of the dress she planned to wear. Burgundy, understated, but dangerous under light. Ryan texted back a single word, "Perfect." When Maya came to bed, he was still awake, eyes open to the ceiling fan's slow spin. "You're thinking about it," she murmured. He nodded. "Just making sure it works." She leaned in, whispered, "You don't have to win." He whispered back, "I'm not trying to." But his chest rose differently after that. Slower, steadier. The decision had already taken root. In the dark, the fan creaked once, a soft, steady sound, like a countdown already running. The music was too perfect. That was the problem. Everything at the venue looked like it belonged in a commercial. White lights, polished silverware, soft jazz under the chatter of happy people. Ryan stood near the edge of the crowd, tie loosened, glass in hand, scanning the room with quiet precision. He wasn't nervous, just aware. Every cue mattered now. Dylan was in his element. Loud laugh, Bigger gestures, moving from table to table like he owned the place. The photographer followed him instinctively. He was photogenic chaos. Jen, his girlfriend, kept glancing at him like she was used to apologizing for the noise. Maya drifted by, adjusting centerpieces that didn't need adjusting. When she caught Ryan's eye, she gave a small nod, an unspoken "it's time soon." The band switched songs. The crowd clapped. Laughter rose and fell like waves. Ryan noticed the way the air shifted when Dylan reached into his jacket pocket, fingers brushing the small velvet box. A pulse went through him. Not anger, not even satisfaction. Just clarity. Claire arrived exactly on cue, slipping in through the side door. Burgundy dress, simple clutch, hair tied back. She didn't look like a guest. She looked like a story waiting to happen. No one noticed her at first. That was the point. Ryan's eyes tracked her reflection in a row of glasses at the bar. She took a seat near the back, crossed her legs, and waited. The speeches began. Father, cousin, then the best man. Each one a little too long, a little too sentimental. When the microphone passed to Dylan, Ryan felt his shoulders tighten automatically. The chatter quieted, forks clinked, someone whispered, "He's so good at this." Ryan smiled faintly. "Yeah, he always is." Dylan tapped the glass for silence. The sound was sharp, clean, commanding. "Before I say a few words about my big brother," he began, "there's something I need to do first." A few people cheered, expecting a joke. Ryan felt the shift, the tilt of every head, the collective inhale. Claire uncrossed her legs. Her hand brushed the tablecloth once, waiting for her line. Ryan's pulse synced with the rhythm of the band fading out. Showtime, he thought. She said it loud enough for everyone to hear. Wait, what? The room froze. The mic was still in Dylan's hand, but he looked like someone had unplugged him. Heads turned. A woman in burgundy stood near the back, trembling just enough to make it real. "Wait, what?" she said again, louder this time, voice cracking perfectly. "You said you were ending it after the wedding." Gasps. Phones lifted. A few guests whispered, "What's going on?" Jen's smile collapsed. "Who is that?" she asked. I don't know," Dylan stammered. His voice squeaked, unfamiliar even to him. Claire started walking forward, clutching her purse like evidence. "You said you didn't want to ruin his big day." Her eyes glistened, method acting at its peak. "You promised me, Dylan." Someone in the crowd muttered, "Oh my God." Another whispered, "He cheated?" Ryan didn't move. He just raised his glass slightly, the stem catching the light. The sound of one fork hitting a plate echoed like a cymbal crash. Dylan looked around, desperate. "She's lying. I don't know her." Claire reached into her purse, pulled out a photo, doctored perfectly, the two of them smiling in sunlight that never existed. "You said you loved me." Jen backed away from the table, hand over her mouth. Her chair tipped and hit the floor with a hollow thud. That sound was the cue, the end of the act. Ryan's face didn't change, but his chest loosened. It was working, exactly the way they'd rehearsed in words, not in person. Controlled chaos, framed in sincerity. Claire stopped near the edge of the dance floor, eyes locked on Dylan. She whispered just loud enough, "I hope she knows what you really are." Then she turned, heels clicking like punctuation, and walked straight out the side door. Silence. The band didn't dare move. Dylan stood there, ring box open in his shaking hand, microphone still hot. "It's fake. I swear." No one answered. The DJ, maybe out of mercy, hit play on a soft pop track. The song filled the air like nothing had happened. Ryan clinked his glass once, a quiet, deliberate tap. "To family," he said under his breath. And timing. By Monday, his brother's name was a joke. The story spread faster than any wedding photo. By breakfast, half the family chat was screenshots and "Can you believe this?" texts. By lunch, coworkers had already found the video. Someone had posted the clip with the caption, "Proposal gone wrong, so bad it's art." Dylan went quiet. No posts, no calls, no jokes. Just silence. Ryan didn't look for him. Didn't need to. He knew his brother too well. Attention was oxygen, and now the room had no air. Jen broke things off a week later. Her message was polite, almost kind. "I hope you find someone honest." Dylan didn't reply. At home, Maya sat on the counter, sipping coffee, watching Ryan scroll through emails like it was any other morning. "You're not even curious how he's doing?" she asked. He shook his head. "He'll survive." She smiled. "So that's it. You win?" Ryan looked up. There wasn't a game. That made her laugh. The kind of laugh that releases the last bit of tension. That night, while they cleaned up after dinner, she said it quietly. "You didn't just marry me," she said. "You directed the best scene of your life." He wiped his hands on a towel, smiled a little. "Yeah," he said. "Guess I did." Outside, rain started, soft, rhythmic, like applause heard through walls. Later, on the couch, the TV flickered through commercials. A champagne ad played. Clinking glasses, fake smiles, the same sound that had marked the moment everything turned. Ryan watched it for a second, the small sparkle of glass on glass. Then he looked away. He thought about calling Dylan, just to check in. But the phone stayed face down on the table. The quiet felt earned. Maya came over, leaned her head on his shoulder. "Still thinking about it?" "Not really." He exhaled. "Just done." The commercial ended. The last chime of glass faded out. Ryan reached for his drink and let the rim touch the table once. Light, clean, final. The same sound from that night. Only softer now. No vengeance. Just peace, and the faint echo of everything it cost him.